everyone. I wanted to welcome you to our discussion today on the differences between formulating nutraceuticals versus pharmaceuticals. Today, we have two industry experts that will give us insight into both of these growing fields. Jessica Zhang is our Pharma Technical Services Manager. She works out of the Houston Solutions Center. She's the go-to person for pharma formulation, advice, and troubleshooting any customer concerns that are related to anything technical. Tracy Sheehan is the Technical Business Development Manager for nutraceuticals in the USA East region. He's an expert in the growing field of nutraceuticals. And today I will be moderating this discussion. My name is Karina Abdullari, and I'm the Pharma Application Development Specialist for North America. I'm based out of Toronto. So today on our agenda, we will be diving into the main differences between pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. We will be looking at key trends that exist in both of these fields. And then we will go over what an innovative co-process excipient, or CPE, is and how they're used in both fields. And finally, we'll take a look at different prototypes that our Solutions Center has produced. So on to Tracy Sheehan to kick off our first topic. What are the main differences between nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals?
Thank you, Karina. Nutraceuticals are products derived from food sources that deliver extra health benefits, in addition to the basic nutritional value found in our foods. Nutritional ingredients that have been in the form of dietary supplements are rapidly growing category of consumer products globally. Many nutraceutical active ingredients, or NAIs, have been clinically studied through double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to support human health. Dietary supplements containing nutraceuticals by law cannot claim to diagnose, cure, prevent, or treat disease. Nutraceutical products have expanded into various formats beyond the traditional solid doses, like tablets, capsules, soft gels, gummies, and powders. The expanded dosage format includes chews, lozenges, bars, shots, sprays, film strips, ready-to-drink beverages, and a variety of functional foods and beverages regulated as dietary supplements. Jessica, would you like to tell us about pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. So when it comes to pharmaceuticals, there are several key factors. One of the main ones involves the treatment of a specific indication or disease state. Done through a variety of dosage forms, they all typically require a licensed medical practitioner for administration. Another one involves the multitude of clinical trials and studies that are required before a new drug product can be commercialized. The entire end-to-end process may take upwards of 10 to 20 years. Another factor is actually the amount of dosage. It also differs. Many active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, are dosed in small quantities, such as milligrams or even smaller micrograms. For intravenous drugs, such as injectables, most are often diluted as well. This is because there are higher risks of overdose and a higher margin of error when it comes to some of the more potent APIs. This is reflected even in the physical size of some drugs, such as tablets. Pharmaceutical tablets are generally smaller in size. Ultimately, a little goes a long way. So as you can see from what Tracy and I just discussed, although there are overlaps between pharma and nutra, ultimately, pharmaceuticals are used really to treat a disease that has already made itself known, versus nutraceuticals is focused much more on prolonging, preventing, and general overall health.
Thank you, Jessica and Tracy, for that detailed overview of the differences in the two industries. So right now, let's get into the emerging trends that we're seeing in both.
Thanks, Karina. In the nutraceutical industry, healthy aging is a big current trend. The United Nations General Assembly has declared 2021 to 2030 the UN Decade of Healthy Aging. Average health span has increased by 26 years across the globe since 1950. Consumers cite brain health and bone strength as the top concerns for getting older and are investing in health supplements. Cleaner label supplements containing all natural and herbal ingredients is another current trend. The brain health and supporting cognitive function category is another trend which has experienced over 18% growth since 2021. Managing stress and quality of life have become a mainstream health concern. Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, consumers are seeking supplements that support mental well-being, mood, sleep, and mental acuity, which is supporting the rise of adaptogens and nootropics. Nootropics, or cognitive health supporting ingredients, including DHA, ashwagandha, bacopa, choline precursors like alpha-GPC, or phosphatidylserine. Active nutrition is another mainstream trend that is relevant to all stages throughout life. Inclusive of all demographics, it focuses on enhancing human performance, both physical and mental. There are a multitude of factors that contribute to performance enhancement in an active lifestyle. With more people in tune with their health, active nutrition is becoming the new normal. Many sports nutrition ingredients fall within this category, but they are not limited to just athletes or weekend warriors. Another one that is worth mentioning is gut health or digestive health, really the center of our overall health, which is also no longer a trend, but a mainstream public health matter worldwide. Digestive health issues are prevalent across the globe and are caused by a variety of factors, such as change in our diet, lifestyle choices, aging, and more. Gut microbiota play a big role here. Several research studies have linked the gut microbiome and its metabolites to both physical and emotional well-being via multi-organ biodirectional communication. The biotics pre, pro, and post play a big role in this ever-growing category. Clean label products are really surfacing in our industry, and there is no clear definition for them, since this can have multiple meanings to people and organizations. Clean label can describe a product containing all natural ingredients, for instance, or non-GMO, containing no flavors, free of artificial flavors or ingredients, free of chemicals or preservatives. Vanilla and fruit flavors are commonly used in many flavored chewable tablets, and gummies are increasingly popular format for delivering nutraceuticals. Gummies come in many shapes, sizes, and various flavors. Hard shell capsules inside of soft gel capsules are used to deliver oil-based nutraceutical emulsions, active nutraceuticals such as lycopene, CoQ10, liquid vitamin E, vitamin D and E, and other fat-soluble vitamins, some carotenoids such as zeaxanthin, and forms of omega-3s and 6 fish oils. Botanicals and other phytochemicals creeping into the over-the-counter market are products such as turmeric extract with standardized curcumin, citrus bioflavonoids, coffee fruits, beetroot extract, citrus fruits and peels and palm seed extracts, and FOS, or short-chain fructooligosaccharides, are now being utilized in many formulations to reduce or eliminate sugar. Also, I've seen ginger extract and Gravol for nausea. Label claims such as delivering ORAC, or the oxygen radical absorption capacity, which represents the antioxidant capacity typically found in natural products such as fruits and vegetables, to help to neutralize or fight free radical cells. Also, we see supporting brain function, mood, focus, supporting immune, gut, heart health, healthy cholesterol levels, managing inflammation, reducing joint pain, and products derived from plant-based proteins are commonly seen in dietary supplements today. Jessica, what emerging trends are you observing in the pharmaceutical industry?
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. That was very informative. So, on the pharma side of things, coming down from the effects of the pandemic, there's now much more pressure on drug innovation. So, that ranges from unique dosage forms, or simply a wider range of dosage forms for the same API, or, of course, more targeted drugs such as biologics. So, some of these unique dosage forms that have shown up on the market include bilayer tablets. So, one reason for this innovative dosage form involves the chemical stability of APIs. Usually, when combined together, many APIs react negatively and show signs of degradation. These innovative dosage forms physically separate them so neither API touches one another. The tablet is layered, so one API is for one layer and then the other for the other. From a patient standpoint, this also eliminates having to take two different tablets versus just the one. There has also been a new push for palatability and taste masking in drugs. In the past, patients consume the drug regardless of how bitter it is because it's life-saving and needed. However, now with an aging population, ease of access comes into the forefront. Many elderly are on multiple medications, and the influx of so much medication can be taxing, especially when it is bitter and hard to swallow. Not to mention, this also gives the drug a market advantage over its competitors when you can say that it tastes better than a competitor and still have the same effect. In terms of new drug approvals in the USA, it actually experienced a decrease of around 25% in 2022. However, nearly one-third of those approvals were for biologics. This has pushed small molecules ahead for the first time, with more and more molecules being discovered than ever before. Cell and gene therapy is a rising trend. So just from these few trends alone, we can see that there are many exciting innovations happening in this space, with much more being discovered every single day.
Thank you, Jessica and Tracy. I 100% see these trends emerging. And another thing that I am seeing is a lot of new active compounds that are in the pipeline are actually having reduced solubility. And this is also creating a large push for more innovative excipients. And especially like you mentioned, to create like a bilayer tablet for vulnerable populations, that means they have to take less pills. So that will be directly appealing to consumers. And for healthcare practitioners, reducing pill burden or increasing acceptance will have a direct effect on compliance, and that will affect the effectiveness of the medication overall. So yeah, definitely. Okay, so now on to co-processed excipients, or CPEs. Jessica will go over what they are and how they can be utilized.
Yeah, thanks, Karina. So with all that we've discussed so far between me, Tracy, and Karina, one big hurdle is that the more complicated the innovation, the more time-consuming this development cycle is. The more complex the problem, the more time spent, the more money spent. So lately, novel excipients such as CPEs have come into the forefront for many of our suppliers. What does this mean? So most formulations use commonly known excipients such as silica, microcrystalline cellulose, magnesium stearate, just to name a few, in the final drug formulation. However, CPEs take these individual excipients and co-process them into a singular blend. The final powder blend has multiple excipients combined with a more uniform particle size and distribution. This plays a key role in helping with the development cycle, as the uniform blend really helps ensure equal, if not better, drug product quality with less ingredients needed. This helps reduce time and energy savings, reduce waste during the mixing and weighing process, and all of which ties into better sustainability.
As we can see, co-processed ingredients can be a great solution and a value add for customers, especially if they're looking to reduce bulkiness or reduce the number of ingredients that are used in their formulations. So let's take a look at some of the prototypes that have been created in our lab in Houston.
So here are some examples of prototypes that we've developed in-house at our solution centers. And these all use CPEs. So here you can see there's some chewable tablets, some hard shell gelatin capsules, some orally disintegrating tablets. All of these contain both active pharmaceutical ingredients and active nutraceutical ingredients to really highlight the CPE's versatility and effectiveness. Regardless if the final end product is for pharma or nutra, CPE will get the job done. Amongst other capabilities, here you can also see that our labs are fully capable of developing products from beginning to end to really help support our customers and suppliers at any stage in the product development cycle.
Hello, and thank you so much to Jessica, Tracy, and Karina for that insightful detail regarding nutraceuticals versus pharmaceuticals. And my name is Monica Hill. I am another member of the Univar Solutions Pharmaceutical Ingredients team. I'm excited to be here with you today as we dive a little bit deeper into some of these topics with our subject matter experts. So first of all, I noticed on your most recent slide with prototypes that you talked a little bit about the involvement of active ingredients, obviously in both spaces. So I wondered if you could kind of kick off this discussion talking about the differences with active ingredients in the pharmaceuticals and the nutraceutical space.
Yeah, Monica. So active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, they're usually well-defined chemical entities for a specific disease state with a lot of clinical trial data to really showcase the exact mechanism and molecular pathway that this drug will affect. So we know exactly where in your body the API will target to lessen your headache, for example, as well as the potential side effects that will come up. Mm-hmm. There are also APIs for biologics as well that are in a completely different process. They're grown in a living organism, whereas most traditional APIs are not grown in a living organism. So that is also a whole different specification on its own. What about for nutraceuticals, Tracy?
Jessica, formulation of nutraceuticals requires the same knowledge of chemistry and skills as for pharmaceutical formulations. Phytonutrients or phytochemicals are active nutraceutical ingredients that manufacturers have clinically tested for their bioavailability. By bypassing the liver with minimal metabolization and accessible to support essential cell functions.
That's great. Thank you so much. And Tracy, this next one's for you too. So what can the public expect in terms of ingredients when it comes to nutraceuticals? Like with pharmaceuticals, it's well known that there are clinical trials, safety data, and an expected standard across the board. Is that the same for nutraceuticals?
Monica, that's right. Many nutraceutical active ingredients are clinically studied, just like pharmaceutical ingredients, through double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to prove that the active ingredients are bioavailable, and the standardized phytonutrient levels are quality tested for safety. That's first and foremost for all consumers, is that the products are safe. And also the non-active nutraceuticals are also quality tested to ensure they are safe.
Perfect. Thank you. And then I know another topic throughout the presentation was on excipients. So I'm kind of hoping that the three of you might be able to address this, or one of the three of you, but how do you see novel excipients impacting patients in the future?
Well, the formulation of medications with novel excipients can have both positive and negative effects on patients. So, starting off with the positive, if we use novel excipients, and they may actually help improve delivery and ultimately effectiveness of the medication. So, this may include something like increasing the solubility of a poorly soluble molecule or having the ability to target delivery to a specific tissue, and that might increase the bioavailability of the drug. So this type of optimization of drug delivery might also lead to reduction in the dose that's needed to be used for that effect, and ultimately reducing potential side effects and toxicity versus traditional excipients. So from a patient's point of view, that means easier administration, reduced pill burden, as well as potentially less side effects. However, on the other hand, with anything that's novel, there's always that potential for negative or unknown effects. So that's something that needs to be kept in mind, and monitoring is of utmost importance for that.
Absolutely. I also just wanted to point out, Karina, that with novel excipients, or maybe just improving on existing excipients so that it's a larger particle size or smaller particle size, that it makes the drug development cycle faster so that you then
Yes.
commercialize the product faster, and ultimately patients and consumers like us get the drug faster.
Oh, 100%. That's a great point.
Awesome. Well, and I know that consumer awareness is going to be a part of the answer to this next question. But the theme of today is innovation. And so I'm just curious to hear from our experts, what are the key drivers for innovation? I know some of those trends that you were talking about. What do you see as the cause for some of those things?
The biggest thing from my side is that regulations. So regulations are constantly changing. The regulatory landscape is always on the move. And so because of that, the market has to keep up with it. Whether it's, addition of new ingredients to the monograph, removal of certain ingredients from monograph, ultimately that all affects the drug product, and we have to formulate to reflect that. Additionally, as you mentioned, coming down from the effects of the pandemic, there has now been more awareness from the younger generation than ever before. This is leading to differences in consumer practices as people have more access to education surrounding health. Everyone can pick up their phone and Google something. And with that, you now have the younger generation educating the older generation as well to be more aware of the products they're taking, asking more questions from their physicians, stuff like that. What about you, Tracy?
Again, as a result of the pandemic, there's been more awareness for younger generation than ever before. This is a leading to differences in consumer practices as people have more access to education surrounding their health. There's been an increased demand for innovative nutraceuticals due to health conscious consumers, increased awareness about food and disease prevention, and promoting wellness and longevity and health span, and prevention also in management of chronic diseases through our diet and less dependence on pills and drugs. Phytonutrients in the form of active nutraceutical ingredients are constantly being clinically studied for their health benefits.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and in addition, there is an increased push for research towards rare diseases. So that just means that there will be more active ingredients that might have less solubility than the traditional ones. So we will have to become more creative with the excipients we have, or just generating new ones or co-excipients as well.
Well, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so my final question here, what's next? So let's talk a little bit about the future. I know we talked some about trends, and that's probably driving a good bit of it, but what do you see as the future for pharmaceuticals and the future for nutraceuticals?
Yeah,
We are
so go ahead.
increasingly moving away from a one-size-fits-all culture with custom medications being necessary for our patients. This is reflected in innovations taking place, as well as the variety of Nutra and pharma products out on the market. And we'll see new emerging technologies that will be disruptive to the nutraceutical industry. What do I mean by that? Consumers are concerned about how bioavailable the active nutraceuticals are actually getting into their bodies and being effective. So I think we'll see an increase in bioaccessibility of these active nutraceutical ingredients through extensive studies.
Yeah, echoing you, Tracy, pretty much very similar approaches is that we're definitely moving away from a one size fits all. Custom medication is huge. I mean, if you think about it, there's 8 billion people in the world. There's no way just the one drug over the counter at that exact same dosage will work for everybody, especially because everyone's different age, different sex, different health background. So that's a huge thing, and I also see that coming along with biologics. A lot of genomic research has really shown up in the past few years. So in gene therapy, who knows in the future, we may be able to target exactly the RNA, DNA strain in your body and say, that's what's causing you to have this disease. So we're just going to, target that and cut that out. The options are endless.
Yeah, I agree with you both. Definitely, it's consumer driven. People are just so aware of what's going on when it comes to medications and excipients that will be the major trend.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you again so much to all three of you for sharing these insights with us today. I hope our audience is walking away feeling more learned in both the spaces of nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. Our team is always happy and here to help with whatever your needs might be, whether it's in our global solution centers or in need of quality products and ingredients. Please feel free to reach out to us. We can be reached at univarsolutions.com/pharmaceuticals or /nutraceuticals. Thanks so much.